Several times you mentioned Jadon Sancho's name. They're trying to bring in Antony for an extraordinary amount of cash again. And Antony, last night, gave an interview effectively saying, Ajax, let me go. And he was at pains to point out he's not asking to leave. He's asking for them to allow him to be sold. So they will make a very, very handsome profit on him. But to go to Manchester United, when they have Jadon Sancho and their skill set is very similar, although I have to say Antony is faster than Jadon Sancho. But Jadon Sancho himself is such a talented player. We know that. We know what he can do on the pitch. Wouldn't the money be better invested in getting a progressive right back who can overlap and help out Jadon Sancho and create chances out wide as well?
Well, Dallo will be very disappointed with you today after that cross coming in. I take your point, Adam. I take your point. I think myself that it's more to do with what shall I say? Sancho. I would persevere. I must admit. My own view is that on the training field, I would have Sancho just taking players on one-on-one. 20 minutes after training's over, 20 minutes beforehand, it doesn't really matter. Taking players on, getting the confidence up to know that you're going to go past. You can take players on in and around the penalty area, just outside that area, instead of laying the ball off, getting more from him, getting more productivity from him. That's what I would be trying to do anyway as a manager, as a coach. So I have some of these players. If for instance, this Antony does come into the football club and he is a direct replacement, then you feel as if you're throwing away a lot of money on a player just because he hasn't really produced since he's arrived at the club. Work with him. Work with him. That would be my view.
Jody, I would love to know what you're thinking. I know we've thrown out a lot of names, a lot of clubs here, and a lot of business, potential business to be made. But where do you stand on this? I mean, even the situation of Sancho being at the club and Antony coming in when he would occupy the same space on the pitch, maybe money could be utilised elsewhere, maybe a partner for Casemiro.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is if you're looking at if Antony comes in, if he wanted to play maybe Marcus Rashford a little bit more down the middle, he could obviously alternate with whoever he's going to play out wide. He could play Jadon Sancho on the left. My thing with Jadon Sancho is that I agree with Martin. He's a huge, huge talent, and he's done too well in the last couple of years before arriving at Manchester United to just write him off. I would actually say, whilst doing all your 1v1 work and getting your confidence up in dribbling past people, I would actually say that try and involve yourself in the game a lot more from running off the ball. Like if the ball's on the other side of the pitch, for me, a lot of the time he's waiting for the ball to come to him and then he'll then come alive and try and do a little bit. I'd almost be going, go and get yourself involved in the game. A little bit like Raheem Sterling started doing once he went to Man City. I think if you look at the level of player he was when he went to Manchester City and what Pep Guardiola helped turn him into, if like today, it was not happening for Raheem Sterling on the ball. It just wasn't happening. And he's someone who's similar to Jadon. He can do bits, can go by people, 2 or 3, create chances for himself. But he's one of these over the years that when that's not happening, he's still making so many defence splitting runs and dragging defenders all over the place. For me, I don't see Jadon Sancho sweating enough and looking like he's working hard off the ball, whether it be to break in lines, whether it be getting involved in the other side of the pitch rather than hanging out wide for it to come round again. And also even from the defending from the front aspect, maybe look a little bit more infused about going to win the ball back. And then sometimes for me, I think that you kind of work your way into a little bit of luck and a little bit of form. I agree with Martin. He's too big a talent to just write off, and he should be one that if you do get him firing on all cylinders, he could cause all sorts of problems.